Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of my knitting podcast. My name is Melinda, and you can find me over on Instagram and on Ravelry as mintknitwear. This is episode 8 of my knitting podcast. This week is going to look just a little bit different. We will not have the regular podcast format, but instead, I have a bit of footage from my time this past weekend at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival. And I want to talk a little bit about my experience there, and then also just show off the yarn that I purchased at the festival. And then probably most exciting for all of you, I will be announcing the giveaway winners from my episode last week. I just felt like I wanted to do a giveaway. They're always really fun for podcasters that I watch, so I wanted to get in on that. So yes, I will announce those here toward the end of this episode. But I guess I'll just jump in and show off the bit of footage that I took from Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, and then we'll be back here in just a bit for me to chat and tell you about my experience and what I purchased there. So without further ado, we'll take you to the footage I captured. Awesome. Welcome back from our excursion into the past. I definitely got a little caught up in the yarn and just looking around at everything that I forgot to film very much, but that's okay. We'll figure it out for next time. This whole vlogging thing is not my forte, but that's all right. We'll just stick to our podcast where I get to ramble in front of the camera for a while. So yes, it was a really fun experience getting to go. I went with my little family and we had a lot of fun. Drove out there for a few hours and looked through the yarn. There were 2 huge barns that had stands throughout the whole thing, and oh my goodness, I could have bought something from like almost all of the stands. It was all so beautiful, so incredible. My method to approach this was to take a whole lap through, take a look at all the booths, and then to hopefully prevent myself from over purchasing. I didn't buy anything the first go around, and then at the end I said, okay, what's sticking in my brain? What do I want to go back and see? So I will show you those items here in just a second. But yes, it was fun just being around all the other knitters. I did run into somebody who watches the podcast, so Sierra, I'll call you out. I had mentioned last time that if anyone was planning to go, keep an eye out for me, and I would love to say hey, and I feel like I'm getting red during this moment as well, but she came up to me and was like, hello, do you have a podcast? And I was like, yes, oh my goodness, and it was just very shocking. And so my husband, after the fact, was like, that was hilarious to watch, because I guess both of us were just very awkward. We chatted about it on Instagram as well, about like, that was just, I don't know, funny, and I didn't know what to say, and I don't think she knew what to say either, and so we were just kind of like, good to see you, podcast, yarn, happy you're here, okay, have a good day. And so, oh my goodness, I should have like had a script prepared. No, that would have been worse. But yes, it was funny, and it was great meeting you, and maybe if I see you again next year, or I guess, anyway, if I see you again next time or whatever, hopefully we can have a normal conversation and not just be like, hey, the whole time. Oh boy. So that was an adventure in and of itself. But yes, I had a great time looking through all the products that everyone was selling. There was so much beautiful yarn and other things, like yarn bowls and swifts and everything you could imagine yarn related, and people just hanging out, spinning and knitting. And so, I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, you're my people, you all get it. I also did get to show off a little bit of my knowledge to my husband when I was talking about different things, or like, feel this fiber or that fiber, and this is why it's this way or that way. And I've been talking to him about whether or not I'm going to do the West Knits MCAL, and so there were some stands that had samples of them, and I was like, look, that's like the wacky, cool shawl that always happens for these mystery knit-alongs. And so, I don't know, it was just fun to get to share that with my family as well. Oh my gosh, my heart was racing for like so long after our conversation, so, oh boy. But yes, and then they also had, of course, the actual sheep and little shows that were going on, so we hung out and watched those for a while. I think the highlight of those was they had this little junior division where the kids, I think the oldest one in that section was probably like 7 or 8, but there was this tiny little one who had to have been 4 or 5, and she was just so excited, and her mom was out there helping her show the sheep off, and she, like, they got ribbons at the end, and I think she got like 2nd or 3rd place for this round, but once they gave her ribbon, she goes, I won, and like screams it for everyone to hear, and it was just the cutest darn thing. She also like let go of the lead on the sheep, so her mom like snatched it from the ground because this little girl was just too pumped about winning to pay attention to the fact that she was holding on to the sheep. So I don't know. It was a good time getting to see everything and getting to experience the Sheep and Wool Festival. So looking forward to next year. And I don't know, I never have gone to Rhinebeck or anything like that, so intrigued by that prospect as well. But yes, I guess that's really all I have to share other than the yarn. Let me get a sip and we'll go into that. So this one place, I ended up, well, we'll just talk about it. I got these two lovelies, which they're actually two skeins in these giant hanks that we have here. And this is from Shady Havens Fiber Designs, which is, this is fiber content, prime alpaca, 595 yards. And I got two skeins of that. And so this one I have is this green. It is 100% alpaca and it's like so silky soft. I'm pumped to knit up a sweater in this. You can see there's just like a lot of green variation within this, some lighter parts and darker bluish parts and everything. It is, I just can't wait. It's going to be so darn cozy. A nice toasty warm alpaca sweater in the green. Yummy. And then from the same stand, same shop, I got this. It's like black and brown and tan, or maybe just like a super deep brown. I believe, oh, it just is a 2-ply, but there's the 1-ply that's the really light color, and then the other ply is kind of marled with the two darker, or like the medium and dark color. I almost feel like you get better. This is just not capturing the beauty of this at all. But I was looking it up, and I realized that there's just an email on here. So I think I'll reach out to this person just to see if they have some kind of website or Etsy shop or what it is. But the woman that I talked to at the stand, she said that she's the one that like sets up and runs it, but it's all her mom's doing. So I didn't get much more information than that. I figured I could look them up after, but I don't have all the details. So I might shoot an email here and see if I can get some kind of website or shop or whatever, because this yarn is so dang soft, so dang beautiful. And I'm very excited to have two sweaters in this cozy alpaca. And then the only other purchase I made, I was pretty darn controlled. I think it did help that my husband was there so that I couldn't just go wild and then come home and be like, oops, I bought something from every stand. But no, he was excited for me to like find stuff and helped me decide what to get in the end. But yes, okay, this one is Enchanted Meadows, which is Wausau, Wisconsin. They do have a website, so I'll pop that in the box below in the description box. This one is Henry's Attic Prime Alpaca, approximately 665 yards. This is sport weight. So that sounds like, yes, about 200 grams for each of these skeins. And it's just like a super deep brown, basically black color. And again, likely going to make a sweater out of this as well. And that's really it. I don't know. I am so excited to cast these bad boys on. I do have to finish the projects that I've been working on. But yes, I'm looking forward to this. And I've been trying to decide which of these three is going to be my next cast on. So I guess you'll likely find out in next week's episode which one I decide on. And I'm also trying to decide whether I'll be writing up a pattern or just knitting a pattern with them. So we shall see. Alrighty, for the exciting part, the moment you've all been waiting for, I will announce the giveaway winners. I did the random comment picker just online, and I have it pulled up on my phone here, so I will announce the three winners. The first is Courtney Ormsbey, and she said, I'm loving your podcast. I went back and watched all your episodes so far. So thank you very much, Courtney, for all of the support. Next up, we have a hand knit letter. I just found your podcast. Glad I did. I'm looking forward to fall hikes and wearing cozy knits. I feel like that was what so many people said, was talking about the coziness of fall coming and being able to actually wear our knitwear and not get too hot with wool on our laps all day long. So thank you for that comment. And then our third winner today is Sandra Bendig. She said, I'm most excited that the heat is almost over. And like many people said in the comments, they would certainly agree. So yes, the three of you, Courtney Ormsbey, a hand knit letter, and Sandra Bendig, if you would get in contact with me, either shoot me a message on Instagram, or my email will also be below, mintknitwear@gmail.com. Just let me know that you're one of the giveaway winners, and we'll sort out how to get, I guess step one will be, and I'll remind you what we have for prizes, but to let me know your preference of the 3 prizes. So the first one we have is Blackberry Ridge Woolen Mill Sport Weight 2-ply, 100% wool, 360 yard skein, and that is with these little marble stitch markers. So prize 1, you can say like gray yarn or Blackberry Ridge, 100% wool, just get the idea across there. The second prize is the Forest Fiber Art Merino Nylon 4-ply, 75/25, 463 yards, 100 grams in the Pressed Flowers colorway. So it's got the blues and the pinks and the little bits of yellows all throughout this sock yarn. And then the stitch markers to go with that are these little beaded ones. And then lastly, but not least, of course, Timeless Sock 75/25, Superwash Merino Nylon, same 463 per 100 grams on the colorway, or in the colorway Love Buzz from the Kinetic Knitter Yarns. And here are the stitch markers to go with that one. So yes, either Kinetic Yarns, Forest Fiber Arts, or the gray woolly wool is gonna be the 3 that you can rank. So yes, if you shoot me a message or send me an email, then we'll figure out how we can get everyone at least something that they're interested in and get them sent off to you as soon as we get that sorted out. So congrats to you 3. This is so fun. I'm really excited to do a giveaway. And I have a couple that I'm already planning for in the back of my mind. So I don't know. Just stay tuned for that, and we'll keep this party rolling. Let's see. Something bringing me joy. That was definitely it. Getting to go to the Sheep and Wool Festival. That was so darn fun. We had a great time. Even though Little Miss didn't get her proper naps that day, she was such a good sport. Being a little bit in the heat, of course I still wore a woolen sweater, which I was kind of disappointed there were not many people who wore it was only like 75 or 80 degrees. It was like, yes, 70 something. It was like 70 something. So obviously not ideal for wool, but I just expected more people to be wearing sweaters. I don't know. I feel like people would just suck it up and deal with it. But anyway, that definitely was the most joyful part of my week this past week. Yes, alrighty. This might be a little bit shorter than usual, but don't worry, we'll be back next week with all the goodness of the usual podcast. Okay, now that we're at the end of this, I guess I'll tell you what I'm wearing. This is another one of my self-drafted patterns. I almost feel guilty wearing them, but I want to show off what I've made, and so I'm gonna wear them even if there's not a pattern that you get to recreate. So this one is knit in a yarn that I don't remember what it is, but it is kind of like a chain net yarn, and it has 4 different colors, this bluish gray, light green, and the brown with the white as the main color. It's got some stripes going down. It is very cropped and very wide. I tried to block it that way, but it didn't really want to do it. And so yes, that's really all I have to say about it, but it is a very warm sweater, so I think I might have to wrap this up now so I don't start sweating for everybody. But thank you all for watching. Like I said, if this isn't your thing, then next week will be a regularly scheduled podcast episode. So we'll see you all next time. Bye.